this is Dr. T, and just continuing on with the tower. So let's see. Zooming in. So last I left off, looks like I got a couple offices going in over there, and yeah, I think I want to start getting a little bit more resources, build up my tower a little bit more. So they're working on that. I'm going to zoom this up so it's not quite so slow. So today is the start of textbook adoption season. Yay, so much fun, textbooks. Speaking of fun. Okay, yeah, I can put in an office. So, teaching college, one of the things you get to do is pick a textbook. And when it comes to textbooks, I don't know. I'm always underwhelmed by them. Sometimes you run into a great one. Those are rare. Occasionally you do, but it's like, okay, yeah, we got ourselves a textbook. It's decent. I think it's going to be a help to the students. But it's like, ugh, but at that price, like, ugh. So when I'm looking at them, I guess there's a couple of scenarios that I keep looking for. One is really how useful this is going to be for the students. Sorry, I'm messing with the speed here a ton. But how useful is this thing going to be? Does it explain things well, or is it just kind of presenting the information like any old one? And when it comes to chemistry textbooks, I tell you what, it's almost like there's this primordial chemistry textbook, especially for the gen chem. Once you're into biochem, that's a different story. Once you're the newer stuff, that there's some other narratives going on there, but especially for the general chemistry, the organic chemistry, this stuff hasn't changed in decades, in some cases centuries. I feel like a couple like the gas law chapters, a lot has been taking place, but most of that's in the upper classes. So with those guys, it's like, okay, I've got my father's chemistry textbook from 1971. It's missing a couple of chapters of stuff that has taken place since 1971. But otherwise, honestly, I could use it. It would work. So with these guys, like, okay, so how good of a book do I pick? Or which book should I pick? They all very, very similar. So of course, some of them have better pictures. Honestly, a lot of them have the same stupid pictures. It's frustrating. Especially when you're looking at books from, say, Pearson, which owns a billion different books. They're a giant company. I'll tell you what, you get completely different authors and it's the same pictures. And it's like, okay, guys, I know what you're doing. New edition, same pictures. They just shuffle a couple pages around. Like, I get it. You're trying to make money. I understand your business, yada, 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 but, oh, boy. Yeah, so occasionally I'll go for the open source. I do like them. Fundamentally, it's a great idea. I know good and well that, let's just be honest, students nowadays don't really read the textbook. I didn't read the textbook. I dried leaves in my chemistry textbook. I had a couple textbooks that I read, usually looked at the pictures of them. Biology ones are a little bit better, biochemistry as well, with really useful infographics in there. And that alone is sometimes what I'll buy based on, or go for the call to make the textbook based on pictures. Because that's sometimes the most useful part of it. But yeah, unfortunately, not every class has good open source textbooks. I teach a GOB or a survey. It's same thing. It's just George likes to rebrand everything. General Organic and Biochemistry is what the GOB stands for. In this case, George actually has a good rebranding. Survey, we're covering all of chemistry in 2 weeks or 2 semesters. There's an okay open source textbook for that. Definitely passable. While I'm talking, I probably should put in some flooring. But if I'm looking for the principles of chemistry or general chemistry things, if you're Georgia or every place that's not Georgia, OpenStax has a decent book, but it's decent for the first semester of principles. The second semester, it's just like, really, people? You're missing half your book. And before I keep building on this stuff, I better double check to make sure I got enough utilization. Okay, I got plenty there. Boy, I can only add about 7 more apartments there, or offices. Okay, so that I gotta keep in mind. Yeah, but the OpenStax book, it's free, it's great, but it's missing a lot. So I end up going, choosing a book that's not that one. It's going to be a couple $100. I'm like, I hope the students read this. I do think it's valuable. It's not earth-shatteringly great, but it's something. I'll go away. There we go. Small restaurant. Is that a small restaurant? Is that a food stall? Oh, I need a higher prestige. Got it. Okay. I'll save that guy. But anyways. Yeah, so it's one of those, like, I really would like to use, an open source in this particular case, but I don't know, what are you going to do? There isn't one. I teach another course that's all physical science for teaching majors. It's intense. We're covering physics, chemistry, and astronomy in one semester. Oh, yikes. That's so much content. There are 2 textbooks out there. Literally, that's it. That's all I have found. I don't particularly care for either one. I mean, they're both okay textbooks. Don't get me wrong. They're both okay. One's a Pearson textbook. That's the one I'm using, is because let's say what the other instructors are using. The class started for second week of January. We're approaching Valentine's Day, and I still don't have my desk copy. Yay, customer service. I got an ebook, thankfully. But it's like, great. I can't trust them to give me decent customer service. My poor students, they don't stand a chance. So it's one of those, like, I don't really want to, inflict that on a student. Speaking of inflicting, let's grab another lawyer. 110. Boy, these guys are cheap. Okay, so I've got that, and let's go for what do you think? Ice cream standards. What do we have on here? That's okay, let's. Okay. Hey, Dr. Ren.
Hey.
What was it? Let's say homemade soups, authentic sushi. Yeah, let's put in a smoothie bar. There we go. But yeah, so what was I saying? But yeah, there's 2 textbooks. And then there's another one. It's basically the same book. And once again, it covers from the whole same book. There's no open source book, at least not that I found. If any of y'all know an open source book for this, let me know. Because as far as I'm using it, that's about it. Now, one of the interesting things on the textbooks, what's honestly more valuable in some respects to the textbook is the actual images and the PowerPoints that come with it. So I don't really use PowerPoints much anymore. I've really phased away from it, but students really like those. Well, unless I go through, and I'm doing this, which is a pain, but unless I go through and make completely open source PowerPoints, that's a lot of work. I really, you're not supposed to use the PowerPoints from a book if you're not using that book. That's part of the deal. So, oh boy. Yeah, so part of the goal is go through, make open source PowerPoints, but then you don't get the good images that honestly sometimes is worth a fair amount. So now I have to adopt a book. Yeah, it's a rather interesting, scenario. There's also all kinds of bells and whistles, the online homework systems. For some classes, I'm quite certain they work well. I use them. I do think they're valuable for the students. Speaking of valuable, they're in. It's an electricity going for. I have got to put in more electricity. Okay, so to put in more electricity, I'm going to have to find a nice hole somewhere. That means more. Why is this thing blinking? Okay. I'm going to have them build some floor down there, and I'm putting in some new electricity once I get the money. And that'll allow me to upgrade things. Yay, upgrade. Also, I probably have to put some gas in. because I'll probably need to start putting in some real restaurants in pretty soon. But okay, so that's going in. That's good. Online homework. So some of that stuff, definitely some of it seems useful. Others, I'm going to be honest, seems like just bells and whistles. Not entirely sure how useful it is. Just depends on the class. I'm using Sapling for a couple of my courses, really like it. But there's a lot of the other ones I've tried and just like, really? Or, boy, this is buggy. I remember there was one where you had to, well, the question was something like draw xenon hexafluoride, do a Lewis structure. Just that you couldn't actually put down the atom xenon. You had to highlight some random atom that overtype XE on it in order to turn it into xenon. Like, are you kidding? If I can't figure this out, the poor student's not going to figure this out. And frankly, that's entirely non-obvious. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is not okay. So textbook season's coming up, as I mentioned earlier, and oh boy, what to pick. I'll probably stick with a lot of the similar ones, try and go open source as much as possible, because, you know, it's a couple $100. That's a lot of money for the students. And, you know, I care about the students. I want to try and save them a few bucks. Okay, now I can put in the medium restaurants, and those are going to want to go in. Probably over towards this area. You know what? I don't need that stairwell. So I'm going to go ahead and... How do I get rid of the stairwell? That's how I get rid of the stairwell. Okay. I need to move up. What's the water? Demand 2. That's doing okay. You know what? That medium restaurant can probably go right there. And then let's see what they're going to want. How about a nice dive? Use water. Okay, I need trash bins. Got it. Okay. That's what this is telling me. I've got trash bins, collection rooms. In the basement. Okay, so that goes someplace like there. Yeah, I'm not going to put that there. I am going to put that probably someplace over there. Yeah, did not plan on doing that, but oh well. I'll need the floor there anyhow. Oh, but they're going to complain. Oh well. Let's move this a little bit faster. Yeah. So I guess while these folks work... Ooh, I better put in some power lines. Because always want power. That's got power. Don't need cable. I do need water. Got water. I'm going to put a little bit more water. Gas is going to need going in here pretty soon too. That was expensive. I'm going to go ahead and put in a little gas. Okay, now this is there. Let's expand the electric. Ooh, that's expensive. That is really expensive. What kind of money do I have? You know what? I think I'm just going to wait on this one. Well, I gotta get this trash in. Oh, money. Oh, not enough money though. Okay, so we're gonna... How are we on power? I can put in a couple more facilities. Let's go for a couple more offices. I want to get some medium-sized offices, but I have to get some food in there, otherwise they won't go. Ooh, that's a lot. File storage services. That's probably going to have to go down there somewhere. Expect IT, yeah. There we go. Okay. So, with that said, looks like I get to put in some infrastructure. And I will do that next time. So talk to you later.